So I've had the M1 Mac Mini for almost 6 months now, and so far I've been liking it, but is it still worth it in 2022? If you like this video, please like, maybe even subscribe, no pressure though. So I have the base model Mac Mini, and like I said, I've been liking it. I've had it for almost 6 months now, so I figured it's about time I actually make a review video. In this video, I'll cover the Mac Mini's design, the performance of the M1, a couple things I don't like, and then finally, is it actually worth the money? So starting off with its design, it's pretty much exactly the same as the Mac Mini has been since like 2010. It's not really changed a bit. It's, pretty nice. I do like its simplicity, but it's definitely getting old. And I haven't opened mine up, but other people have, and apparently the power supply and the cooling are extremely overkill because of the M1's efficiency. So I guess it's good that it's bigger like that and has plenty of cooling. And the Mac Mini has pretty much the best I/O of any of the M1 Macs. It comes with 2 USB-A ports, which is nice for charging cables, lightning cables, whatever, or just flash drives and stuff. Next to that are 2 Thunderbolt ports, which mainly used for fast data transfers to external hard drive or SSDs. And it does have HDMI, which is what I use for display, although for some reason it is only HDMI 2.0 instead of 2.1. And it does come with a gigabit Ethernet. Unfortunately, I'm not in a place where I can use that, so I'm stuck with Wi-Fi for now. Now moving on to the performance, the M1 chip is easily enough to get all of my stuff done. It obviously just flies through them, and it opens up apps pretty much instantly, and it works great for things I do every day: web browsing, watch some YouTube videos, maybe typing some documents and stuff. Obviously, it just handles that easily. Everything is really instant, and it does edit 4K footage pretty well. It'll skip some frames here and there, but my edits are pretty simple because I kind of suck at editing. So I'm sure if you were actually a heavy editor that was using a lot of plugins and stuff, probably is not going to handle it too well. But that's not me, and so for me it works pretty well. So as far as gaming, Minecraft runs pretty well. I have to lower the render distance pretty far to get solid frame rates, but it's also worth noting that Minecraft is not optimized for the M1 chip, and so running through Rosetta 2 does slow it down probably quite a bit. So I've said pretty much nothing but good things about this Mac so far because I am really liking it, but there are a couple mostly pretty small things that I don't like with this Mac. Now the first one is something that you'll see with pretty much all the Macs right now, and that is storage. It's really expensive to upgrade the storage. The base model is only $256. Now I've never really actually run into a problem with it because I obviously knew when I was getting it that I don't have a ton of storage, so it's a lot of external storage on flash drives or big hard drives. But it is still kind of annoying just to be limited like that. I wish it was a little cheaper to upgrade the storage. It's like $200 to get a 500 gigabytes. So, yeah. And another thing which I kind of mentioned earlier is the design. Like I said, it's not that I don't like it that much, but it is really old and looks exactly the same as the 2012 Mac Mini I had. So it's definitely ready for an update, which according to some leaks we might actually be seeing later this year. And also the final thing is, once in a while I'll have some unreliability with Bluetooth devices, which I know that other people have had more. Just sometimes my keyboard refuses to connect or something, especially after the computer shuts off. For some reason I usually just have to let it sit for a couple minutes. I just click around on the keyboard and stuff, it just will not connect. No clue why, and it's kind of annoying, but for the most part that's just a really tiny problem that only comes up once in a while. So finally, is it actually worth the money still in 2022? And since it's only starting at $699, I would say that for a certain group of people, this is going to be some of the best money you'll ever spend, and it'll be a really good value for what you're getting. But for most people, you're actually going to get better off with the M1 iMac, which doesn't really make sense at first because the iMac is $1,300. It's almost twice as much. But if you think about it a little more, it does kind of make sense because you buy the iMac, and you open up the box, you have an iMac with the M1 chip obviously inside. It's the same chip as the Mac Mini, but you also get a 24-inch 4.5K display and some speakers that are supposed to be pretty good, a half-decent webcam with some microphones, and it comes with a Magic Keyboard and Magic Mouse right in the box. So you pull it out, you plug it in, and you're ready to go. Whereas with the Mac Mini, you get the Mac Mini, then you have to buy a monitor, a keyboard and mouse, probably some speakers, depending on what you do, maybe a webcam and microphone. You have to buy all of these things separate, which not only, if you add them up, it's not only more expensive, it's also just less convenient. So for a lot of people, it's nice to get the iMac, to just open it up, pull it out, and there you go. So I would say for the people that maybe already have an older Mac Mini or some type of older Mac desktop, or have a MacBook that they use in a desktop setup, you probably have an external keyboard, mouse, monitor, some things. So you buy this thing for $700, and there you go. Like, that's it. That's what I did. I had a 2015 MacBook Pro, but I used it in a desktop setup. I had a wireless keyboard and mouse, a monitor, and so when I got the Mac Mini, all I did was plug it in. The only other thing that I had to get was speakers, and that's it. I got the whole setup right there for pretty cheap. So for me, that was really, really good value, and for some other people in similar situations, it's going to be really good value. But yeah, like I said, for a lot of people, the iMac is still going to be the better option. And now, yeah, there are technically a few differences between the iMac and the Mac Mini. One of the biggest one being the Mac Mini has better I/O, but for some people that's not really going to matter. And the Mac Mini does have better cooling and a couple other little things. But for the most part, they're pretty much comparable M1 Mac desktops. So that's about all that I have. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.